somebody had to relay a message, right?
Yeah.
And so, seeing that, doing the work that you've done early on, all the way to the work that you've done now, what inspired you to build Black with No Chaser?
Oh man, that's a very good question, and I'm glad that you asked that question, Kimar. Actually, Black with No Chaser is an extension of the first viral moment that I really had in my life. The first viral moment I had happened in 2014 during the Ferguson uprising. If many of you remember when Mike Brown was murdered, initially when the stories and narratives were coming out, there were images of him that were clearly put out to attempt to depict him as someone or to shape him and shape his narrative in a certain way. I created a hashtag called If They Gun Me Down. That hashtag went viral and became the #1 trending topic in the world. Ultimately, it got covered by Time Magazine, New York Times, and everything. And what happened in that was essentially I used 2 images of myself and asked essentially how would the media portray me? How would they tell my story if I was gunned down? And it was really to highlight and underscore the way that the stories of Black victims have often been told alternatively to many times the way that white mass shooters stories are often told and how they are humanized. I felt like it was important for us to essentially go ahead and continue controlling our narrative beyond that, because what I found was my hashtag was kind of co-opted back then. And so lost in the initial message that I was trying to send was everybody else kind of jumping onto it and telling the story their way. And so I was like, we got to control our narratives. We got to own our narratives. In order to do that, I created Black with No Chaser as a platform to allow us, particularly Black creatives, folks with businesses, folks who are attempting to amplify their voices and movements, to have a platform on which to do it unapologetically, and to not have other people attempt to interpret what the purpose was behind it. So Black with No Chaser is exactly what it is. It's intentional about being that, and we have grown really rapidly into a movement and a brand that reaches millions per month now that we are up and going.
Awesome.
Yeah, man.